'Tis the season. Gamer Christmas has come in June. We're going to unwrap everything Sony left us under the tree in this week's State of Play.
And if that wasn't enough, we also had the Summer Games Fest, the Day of the Devs, the Future Game Show, and about 8 other showcases. We watched them all. We're going to talk about this and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single week, we're bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. As always, joined by this man right here. Full clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Kind of burning the candle at both ends to put this show together because we had to cram into the late hours of the night last night. And my biggest fear right now is that we're going to get in the middle of this and I'm going to have something on my list that in the moment I thought was just awesome, and then I'm not going to even remember what it was. It's kind of overload with all of these shows, all these games just hitting us for the first time.
Yeah, especially the way, like, since you had to, you had to work and do all this other stuff and having to come in a little late, it's tough. That's tough. I've been watching them, as they come out, dude, taking meticulous notes, wish listing everything. So listen, I'm here for you. If you have any, you just say, hey, what was that game with the guy with the gun? And I'm like, yeah, I know, blood message.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, we'll get through this, dude. It's been a very exciting week in the video game world. So we're just gonna take it slow. We're gonna just to talk about games for like an hour. It's all we're talking about today. There's so many announcements this week. It's gonna be really exciting. First though, other than work, did you do anything fun, exciting video games? Playing in the yard? Anything?
A little bit playing in the yard, yeah. I relocated a rain barrel so we can get it a little bit closer to the garden and not have to, keep taking the watering can back and forth all day. But gaming-wise, nothing really crazy to speak of. I just really been grinding Rune Dice because I think that's a game I can potentially get 100% completion on, and I'm almost there. I just need one last boss, the final boss in the game, on hard mode, and I've been within, like, if I just had 2 more turns, I could have got him. But that's the thing about that game. That's what keeps you just needing one more go, and you'll have it. So I keep deluding myself into thinking that it's just around the corner, and there's more trophies to grind for after that. So it's a matter of time. I think I'll get it.
Are you still having fun with it, or do you feel like it is a little bit of a grind at this point?
I'm having fun with it, but it's one of those, like, you ball pit. I enjoyed playing it on the side. I can listen to a podcast. I can watch the Game Award trailers and still kind of have that going on the side, just at my own pace.
Nice. Yeah, that works out when you could do that. You could still enjoy playing a game, have fun with the game, but also have something going on at the same time. I love games like that.
Yeah.
So I love like simulator games and stuff like that. There's nothing, timing based really, where you could just kind of sit and enjoy it. I didn't get into too much either. I started a couple games, and this kind of will lead us into a segment that we normally talk about. At the beginning of the month is the new Humble Choice, and this is the only like little bit of news that we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about it because I was very excited about this month's selection of Humble Choice, and I'm playing 2 of the games that were given in that. So I'm just going to run through it real fast. So this month, for the low price of $15, you get Octopath Traveler 2, The Rift Breaker, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Indica, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Construction Simulator, Hell Clock, and Overlooting. So the 2 games I was excited for, Citizen Sleeper 2, I've been waiting for a sale to get that. I loved the first Citizen Sleeper. It's just like a story game that's told with choices that you make by rolling dice. And it's a sci-fi setting. I loved the first game. I'm really enjoying this one so far. And then the other one that was on my wish list that I was excited to grab was Hell Clock, which is kind of like a roguelike ARPG, kind of Diablo-esque, but like I'd say like Vampire Survivors meets Diablo, kind of, which is, it was very cool. So those two were on my wish list. I was excited for both of them in the selection. So it was a quick pickup for me. What'd you think of this month's lineup?
Well, I think this one, for the first time in a long time, is going to be one that I actually do go and buy.
Yeah,
I didn't know much about Hellclack and overlooting, and then Life is Strange is not exactly up my alley. But I do hear good things
right.
about it, and you've said you played Indica, and you said good things about that one too. But Octopath Traveler
I
2,
loved
I
it.
could get down
I
on
loved
that.
it.
Rift Breaker would be, yeah. And Rift Breaker
Hmm.
would be one of the top ones for me this time, but then the one that I want to play worst of all is Construction Simulator. I've looked into this game in the past.
Yeah,
I played Roadcraft, and not the same developers or anything, but I'm just kind of wondering how much overlap there's going to be. What does Roadcraft get better than this one, and then what can you do in this one that you can't do in Roadcraft? I guess I'm going to find out for, like you said, the low price of $15.
yeah. I'm honestly surprised you have not played Construction Simulator already. So yeah, that's great. That's a good pickup. Um I was able to trade away Life is Strange, and I got what did I get? I got a couple games that I've been wanting. So I traded that away. I'm looking to trade Octopath Traveler. As I like JRPGs, I don't have time for 100-hour JRPG. So I'm probably gonna try to unload
Yeah,
that one because that's kind of the the premier title this month. Usually I could trade that for something on my wish list. So that's my move.
sure.
So yeah, good month. But yeah, L Clock has been a lot of fun. I literally just started it. I haven't had too much time to play it, but I'm really excited to jump into it and play that. And then Citizen Sleeper again. It's just such a slow game that like you could kind of, it's another one of those you could watch a TV show because nothing is there's no timing or anything. It's great. Anything else to add about that or anything before we get crazy here?
Now let's get into it.
All right, so this is normally where we would jump into our new releases. We're not doing that. There was nothing really great that came out this week. Gothic 1 remake, who cares? We're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the big news of the week. Yeah, you said it in the intro. Gamers Christmas. And absolutely, that's what this feels like. Just day after day of new game announcements, new showcases, just so much happening. And I have watched, I know, like we said it earlier, you had to work. I'm not faulting you. I have watched every single fucking showcase that has come out, dude. I watched the Day of the Devs. I watched the comfy, cozy game show. I watched the Women in Gaming. I watched, like, dude, everything. Maybe not. I think there was a few I missed. I'm not going to say I watched everything. But there was a lot going on. And it was all kicked off by Sony's PlayStation State of Play, which I had very, very high expectations going into this. I knew we were going to see Wolverine. And I was still blown away by some of the other surprise things we got. So we picked about 5-ish of our favorite announcements, favorite things shown off at the Sony State of Play. We're going to go through that. And then after that, we're going to go into Summer Games Fest and a couple of the other showcases. First, Sony State of Play. We knew Wolverine was coming. They led off, I think, with Wolverine, right? I think that was the first thing they showed. And so let's just talk about that, dude. How crazy, violent, and brutal is this Wolverine game, dude? It looks insane. There was so much blood flying around on the screen. I was like, holy cow, this is insane. I'm not going to be able to play this anywhere with my son in the room anywhere. So, yeah. You're not a superhero guy, not an X-Man guy. What do you think of this being kind of someone outside of that comic book world?
Oh, that's all right. As we saw in the gameplay trailer, he's not a superhero. He's Wolverine. It was an awesome trailer.
Yes.
I have to wonder, like, how's it gonna feel when you go to do this combat? Is everything gonna feel pretty on rails, or is it gonna feel like you're actually doing something that matters here when you're jumping truck to truck and person to person? Because it
Yeah.
flows very kinetically. It's very awesome to watch. I just hope it's as good to play.
Yeah. I've seen that comment from a lot of people. It looks people are worried that it is too linear, too on rails, and they're a little disappointed by that. I love being able to. You put me in a movie that I can play. I'm happy. You know, like that's all I want. Like I don't need to go explore every nook and cranny of this world. But you make an enjoyable cinematic experience where I'm playing as Wolverine. That's all I want. So I'm excited for that aspect being more linear, but yeah, I do wonder when each time you attack somebody and it's like this part of like this, yeah, there's so much shit happening where you're like, there's no possible way any button inputs would do that thing, that I do worry that there's too much of that. Yeah, that's a very good point. September 15th is the release date for that. So that's very exciting. Dude, September, I mean, we're going to go through this. September is going to be an insane month. Everybody trying to avoid GTA, all putting their games out in September. There's like 10 huge games coming out in September. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, next on our list, that I was way more excited for than I thought I would be, Bancho the Chef, which is a prequel to Dave the Diver. This one more focused on it, like the origin of the chef from Dave the Diver, and this is more like a cooking sim type situation. But I'm sure it's going to have like a whole bunch of random shit, like because Dave the Diver is not like, first it's like, oh, it's a fishing game. It's not a fishing game. It's not any one particular game, and I feel like that's how this one's going to be. It's going to be just a mixture of random stuff, same art style. And it was a very pleasant surprise that I was excited for. I when I saw this one, I was like, oh, I think Full Clip's going to dig this one because I know you enjoyed everything with Dave the Diver.
For sure. Yeah, that was a recent pickup for me, so it's kind of fresh in mind. This one looks like, I mean, you're going to be, whereas in Dave the Diver, you did a lot of like fishing or harpooning or whatever you want to call it. And in this one, I think it's going to be way more focused on the actual like chef side of things. They show them cooking a lot of vegetables, chopping things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be somewhere between like a cooking mama and a Dave the Diver, but I think it's going to be overflowing with the personality that Dave the Diver had, where you're switching between like just these over the top emotions when people try the dish for the first time, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the heart that's in these games is so enjoyable, and just the yeah, everything about them. So yeah, I'm super psyched for that one. That was a big surprise. Um and a game very, very similar to that is a game called Ill. We got a new trailer for that. JK. Ill looks fucking insane. We've seen a trailer for it before, but it did not convey the level of gory, gross, just visceral, just everything makes you feel ill when you watch this. Like there's like a demon baby you're like beating the shit out of. Like I don't know what this game is about, but I want to play it. But I'm gonna be too scared and too put off to play it. But I'm going to. I don't know.
Yeah, and I can't quite tell whether this one is like a VR title or not. It's screaming VR to me. Like it when he's like holding the baby that's attacking him and he's like punching it in the head. You need the ability to be able to control things with that fine detail rather than just like pressing X to punch.
So I get you want to be able to just beat up babies more realistically. I get where you're saying. All right. Yeah.
Grab them by the legs, sling them across the room, whatever you want.
Baby punching game. But yeah, dude, every time I see more of this, I have, again, no clue what it's about, but it's like they're just striving to be the most disgusting looking gross game out there, and I am here for it. That comes out 2027 sometime. So hopefully it'll be as good as it looks. Next up, another big surprise was Until Dawn 2. This was on nobody's bingo card coming into this. I mean, we just had they did the recent remaster of the first Until Dawn that failed miserably. So now they got this new game coming out from Fire Sprite. And it looks very much in line with the previous Until Dawn, which I had a blast playing. This one you play as like fake, like ghost hunters on an island that are being attacked by like a slasher kind of character. And it's got you could see the celebrities that you recognize in there. I don't remember who was in it or what, but yeah, I'm excited for it. My wife and I played the first one together where she played the female characters, I played the male characters. We traded the controller back and forth, and it had a blast trying to keep everybody alive, and I'm really excited to do that again in this world. What are your thoughts on Until Dawn 2?
Yeah, well, we did the exact same thing. Well, it started that way. We were trading the controller back and forth, and then it turned to like, I have to press all the buttons because it's too scary. Well, she just wanted to watch it like a movie at that point. So I thought this trailer was pretty good. Like, it's one of the first trailers in here that really got me on the horror aspect. So I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I'm excited. The story looks great. That one creepy guy from the first one that keeps showing up, the Russian guy or whatever his name is that shows up and everything, he makes an appearance, it seems, in this. I forget what his name is. So yeah, that one I am excited for. I don't think we have a date on that one. And then, of course, we have to talk about the big one, God of War Lofi. They showed a 20-minute gameplay video of this. It's like... it's not a sequel, I guess, in terms of like timing. It runs kind of like parallel to the God of War games. It's about Kratos' wife, Faye, and like her kind of journey through whatever this, world is after and it's like all different gods. There's like some amazing looking characters in this, which is what really drew me to it. Like, I think it's going to have different gods from different pantheons and different type religions and that sort of thing. And then also just randomly a talking gelatinous cube and a sword that are there, and that's like your weapon, and then your ally is this gelatinous cube, which is played by Jack Quaid. So random, but it's like that kind of classic God of War style gameplay. The fighting, everything's over the top and just looks hard hitting and like really exciting. This one, a lot more finesse because of the characters, not just like punching and going. Rah! So it looks great. I'm excited to see this one. Hopefully, it's not 5 years off. They did say that they've been working on it secretly for a while, and it's further along than we might think. So that is good. I want more of this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one caught my eye. I've never played one of the God of War games, but it was looking pretty good. Now, I know this one is like in the middle of the culture war that we're always, in the middle of in the gaming world. A lot of people have a lot to say about it, and some of that might be warranted, and a lot of it is definitely not. But what do you think about the idea that this is a God of War game, but you're not playing as the God of War Kratos?
I mean, I think it's set in that world with those same characters. So like I'm cool with it. Like at a certain point, I mean, how many games now have we had? 7 God of War games? 6? I don't remember. I don't know what we're at, but there's a lot where you're playing the same guy that does the same stuff every time. Now, granted, those games are great and it's fun to play that character, but yeah, give me some. The world is so cool. Like, it's a world full of gods. Why not like play as some of the other characters? There's so many great characters in that world, and I am absolutely, if this thing does well, I want God of War everything. Give me a fucking character from like over here, some sort of. I want to play as the cube. Let me play as the stupid cube bouncing around. Like, I don't care who I'm playing as long as I'm playing in this world where over the top gods and like magic and like, yeah, it looks awesome. So yeah, and I'm okay with playing a woman character.
Slime Rancher.
Yeah, dude. Let's go full slime. All right, so those were our big 5, and then like we had a couple that we had to add just because They look awesome. One being The Lost World. This one, when they first, or no, not The Lost World. That's what I wanted to call it because it looks
Yeah,
just like you're
that's what
playing
they
a
want you to
Jurassic
call
Park
it.
game, but it's called The Lost Wild. Yes.
Yeah.
So the trailer started, I'm like, this is Jurassic Park. Like, no doubt about it. Like, you're in the park and there's like a computer, an old computer that's broken and like dinosaurs running around. But then I'm like, okay, no, these are not Spielberg's dinosaurs. These ones have feathers. These are a little bit more like realistic. But then, yeah, you see it's The Lost Wild. It's more of a stealth game. But yeah, dinosaurs are in right now, dude, right?
Uh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're talking about like a Turok game around the corner somewhere.
Mm-hmm. That Tomb Raider game is dinosaurs too. The new Tomb Raider game, which we should add, got pushed to February of 2027. So they're also avoiding the GTA game. But yeah, there's lots of I feel like there was like 5 dinosaur games that I saw this weekend. But yeah, this one looked fun. Although like it looked a little too stealthy for me. I don't know how. I mean, you can't fight dinosaurs, I guess. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But now I want a game where I guess Turok, if they do have the Turok game, that you can fight dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yes, velociraptors and shotguns, always a good combo.
Mm-hmm. Man, I swear we saw a game like that was like that, and I don't think it ever came out. Anyways, and then lastly, we got to talk about it. I was so excited when I saw it. Stuntman Hollywood. Now, this trailer was one of my favorite trailers from the whole thing because it starts out, it's just a racing game, and I'm like, what is this? What is this game? What is this going to be? And then they show Kit from Knight Rider, which is, I'm an old man, and that shit was like, it was my time. And then they show like the DeLorean and like the Mad Max, like big tanker truck and like all this shit. And then they show that it is Stuntman Hollywood, which is a new game in the Stuntman series. Which, have you ever played any of the stunt? I don't know if there's more than one, but I remember Stuntman way back in the day. Did you play that one?
I never owned it. I might have played it at like a cousin's house because it is familiar.
Yeah, so the premise in it is you're a stuntman, a driving stuntman, and you have to do the scenes from movies, and you have to get like, it's like score based. So like if you drive through this thing and do a barrel roll correctly, you get like 3 stars or whatever. And and then they show you the scene from the movie. Now this one is amazing because it has real life movies in it. Like, and I'm so excited to perform those stunts in this world. And it's such a cool premise, and I'm really glad that it's back, on top. So I don't know what it's going to be, if it's just going to be that, but and then like the thought that they could just be adding, just give me more. Like, I want to know what other movies are going to be in it, Yeah, I don't know what other movies could be in it. What's a good car stunt movie?
Fast and Furious 1, where they launched over the train track and then off the back of another truck. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Dumb and Dumber. You could drive as the dog, the mutt mobile, whatever that shit was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The possibilities are endless. But yeah, that was our big list. Anything else you want to add about the Sony State of Play?
No, I think that's about that. About it for that one.
Yes. Give me a rating out of 10 for their showcase, the Sony State of Play. What was your out of 10 score for that?
If this hit us out of nowhere and it wasn't like, I just watched this and then immediately watched the Summer Games Fest, then I'd probably have a higher score. I'd probably put it at like 8 out of 10. But considering what we're about to start talking about, I'll go like 5 out of 10.
Oh, shit. That's a big drop. I'm still an 8 out of 10 just for the Wolverine stuntman. Until it was made for me. It was like focusing on me. Summer Games Fest, we're going to get into it. There were a lot less games just me central. And I think it was the opposite for you. So, yeah, I'm excited. Well, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. But yeah, we're going to get into the Summer Games Fest right now. So we'll we'll see the difference. So for our discussion on Summer Games Fest, we couldn't just narrow it down to 5. We each picked our 5 favorite moments from the show, and we're gonna run through all 10 of those real fast. So yeah, let's do it, man. It was a big show. It was like, I don't know, 7 hours long. Just so many trailers. Just Jeff Keighley, just talking about Muppets, as he does.
Yeah.
But
I think we're getting this
it.
tightened down. I think they're doing a good job over there.
Yeah, agreed. It didn't have as much just like random bullshit, so that's good. All right, kick us off with one of your favorite moments from the Summer Games Fest.
All right. I was very into this game, Sand Raiders of Sophia. I'm guessing that's how you say the last part of it there. This was, did you ever see Wild Wild West with Will Smith back in the day? They got the giant mechanical spider going across the desert with Selma Hayek. And this is that, except like you're customizing that giant mechanical walker and you're battling. So it's like, it's feeling like Sea of Thieves with you and your crew on your platform up there, building the weapons and cannon fire going against other crews on theirs. It looks really interesting to say the least. It doesn't look like a high budget game. Have to see if this gets an audience that adopts it, and it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part, is just because it is just PvP, but it does look like it has a ton of potential. I love the crafting elements, and then like I'm interested to see like what the actual like gameplay is. Are you raiding other people's thing? Are they just wandering around the desert like that? The good news is there is a server slam going on right now where you could jump in and test out the server before the release, which is on June 10th. So, yeah, it's real. It's imminent. So you could be out there blasting people with your weird sand crawler thing in no time. So, yeah, that one, I knew you were going to put that one on your list when I saw it. I was like, yep. Oh, it's definitely like you're building giant machines. Like that's your thing. All right. The biggest one for me, I'm going to start with my favorite trailer that I saw, was 1666 Amsterdam. This is from the creator of Assassin's Creed. I forget what his name is. But it is like a third-person game where you play as like this kind of like witch during the 1600s. Like, and I don't know, it just seems like a really cool, very stylish game, cool protagonist. And it's like an investigative, like story-led game. It's not fully like action-based, although the action that they showed does look cool. But there's cats, there's magic. So yeah, I'm excited. There is a prologue that's out right now. It's like 30 minutes. I went on Steam and I was reading some of the reviews. People are like they don't care for it because it's too handholdy and nothing really happens in it. It's just like, here's 15 minutes of like talking about the world and then 15 minutes of kind of getting to know the style of gameplay, which is basically what a prologue is. So I don't know what they expected, but yeah, I'm excited for this one. 1600s Amsterdam. Take me there, baby.
Yes. Yeah, I originally had this on my top 5 list, and I got a lot of bangers on there that bumped it out. But I'm glad you put it on yours because, yeah, I love it's like watching that trailer. It's like, okay, what if witchcraft was real and not just like delusional teens on TikTok, I guess? And then what if it's got this whole like gritty, dark thing around it, and that's exactly what this game appears to be. So I hope it's better than people are saying the prologue is. I hope you get out there and just start blasting people with magic. It looks like a lot of fun. All right, next one on the list, The Last Ronin. Oh my god. Like, I'm not big into TMNT, and I'm not big into comic books, but I am aware of what this is because I've always loved just the concept of this, what'd you call it, just part of the property, spin-off, whatever it is. But like, the ninja part of Ninja Turtles being emphasized here. So this trailer, I loved watching it because it was the one that got me with like a couple holy shits. Like, just seeing that the manhole cover. I'm like, holy shit, is this TMNT? And then you start hearing that little remake of the theme song in the background. I'm like, holy
Uh-huh.
shit, it's TMNT. And then we're getting this revenge plot, and you get the logo for the Last Ronin. And that was my third holy shit. It's the Last Ronin, TMNT. 100% got to get this game on launch.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, you even just you talking about it right now, I had the same reaction. I got like goosebumps right now, man, because it's such the potential for this game is going to be like so good. The Last Ronin story is such a great story, and then we get to see, this is done by Platinum Games, who've done Bayonetta, Nier Automata. So there's definitely talent behind this one for them to be able to put out a really great game showcasing the Last Ronin story. And yeah, absolutely. This was my number 3 on my list. But when I saw you had it, I was like, all right, again, I'll make room for my own. But yeah, man, I was so excited when that music dropped and you're like, I was like, dude, yes, it's gonna be great. And another cool thing to note is that there's a new studio, Paramount Games. This is the first game from that new studio. So hopefully we'll be seeing more cool shit from Paramount IP going forward. Hopefully, if this does well. So yeah, man, I'm excited. All right, next up for me, Stellar Blade Blood Rain. This again was another surprise. So this is a sequel to the first Stellar Blade, which I feel like was only a couple years ago. It was very surprising that we already have a new Stellar Blade coming out, and this one it looked really cool. So this one, it's got a new protagonist, and it's all like melee with like fists. So I think that is a cool draw, and the way that they do it, so stylish and so like, I don't know, just like the whole vibe of it being like these weird android things in the sci-fi world. It looks awesome, and it looks like it's just so fast. Just the whole pacing of it. Yeah, I'm drawn to this. I still have been waiting to play Stellar Blade, the first one, so I'm like, I don't even know if I like Stellar Blade, but it looked really cool, and I like the protagonist in this one. So hopefully I like Stellar Blade.
Yeah, the trailer on this one definitely sold me on the game more than I think. I got to thinking about what the actual gameplay is going to be like, and thinking back to Stellar Blade before this. I don't know that the game's for me, but the trailer sure made it look good.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Next on my list, this isn't the first time we've seen it, but this is about as much as we've seen of it. Star Wars Galactic Racer. And I love the intro to it where she had to get now this is pod racing, that line into it from the movie.
Yeah.
This just, in general, this just takes me back to being like 11 or whatever I was when that movie came out. Yeah, the whole Anakin Walker Sky, what am I saying? Anakin Skywalker pod racing with Sebulba and the whole thing. I hope that this is fleshed out. I hope it's worth the money that they're going to charge for this. That's my only thing. I just don't want them to release like a half-assed product here.
Yep, absolutely. I have been on the fence about this game since it was announced. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. But I love, so this is done by the people that made Burnout, and I love the Burnout games, and and I really had a blast with pod racing. So when they showed this and they really leaned into that, now this is pod racing, because there were so many people in the industry where they were like, is there going to be pod racing in this, or is it just going to be like a racing game? And then they leaned into this in the trailer, like saying, okay, no, there's pod racing. It's not just like these like ships and stuff like that. There's definitely pod racing. So I think that was to kind of appease a lot of the audience. So yeah, I am excited about that. So yeah. October 6th for this one. It's going to be good. All right, then next up for me, The Wolf Among Us 2. Finally happening many, many years after the original. Did you ever play The Wolf Among Us?
No, I didn't play that. Yeah, kind of been averse to the Telltale game series.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, you're not into those things. The first one, it was like a detective story, but with fairy tale characters in like a gritty way. So that was like really cool, seeing like all these different fairy tale characters, just done in like a dark noir, like real gritty way. And the story was so good. It was like such an amazing story with characters that you really enjoy. So I'm so excited that they continued. Like they've been talking about The Wolf Among Us 2 for years and years. So I'm happy that through everything that Telltale had gone through, closing, reopening, and then like just still having this idea in this game see the light of day. It's been a roller coaster, and I'm really excited that it's finally happening at some point. We didn't get a date, but I am excited. And they did a remaster for the first one. So if it does intrigue you at all, you could pick up the remaster. I think that's out soon.
Yeah, there was one moment on there when they like show the back of the character's head. I think they may have shown the Telltale Games logo right before that, so people had some clue. But I'm like, who the hell is that? And yeah, I've always seen like that the box art for that back on Xbox 360s. Like they were constantly pushing that game on the digital store. Second to last in my top 5 here is Stranger Than Heaven, and I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, we saw a lot of Japanese Yakuza. Looks like it's the 1920s to 40s, somewhere in there. The industrialized Japan. And I think you're just going to be doing a lot of Yakuza stuff for the time period.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of. And I thought you were drawn to this one for one reason and one reason only. The reveal of Tupac being in the game. Was such a mind-blowing announcement when it happened where I'm just like, what? So like I'm drawn to the idea of this game. Like it's cool. It's got Snoop Dogg in it, and then they're like, and Tupac. And I'm like, what? Tupac's dead. Like Tupac's not in this game. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this seems weird. It seems icky. But like, I guess like Snoop Dogg's family owns like Tupac's digital rights or something, so they're putting him in this. I don't understand why this is happening, and it like kind of I didn't know how to feel about it after they announced this. I'm like, do we like this? Do we not like this? Because that felt weird.
Yeah, I mean, Snoop Dogg being in the game does enough for me. Tupac's kind of maybe a bridge too far. And it was a weird explanation. He's like, yeah, well, my son works with the estate of Tupac, and we thought that it had a lot to do with his messaging. So something about like being anti-racist, anti-crack cocaine in 90s California has a lot to do with this samurai game, I guess. I'm being an asshole about it, but it's weird. It is weird. But as we know from like the whole hologram thing, I think Tupac's estate will just he's going to be in a Domino's commercial by the end of the year.
He's just going to be there. Yeah, absolutely. I am still looking forward to this one. January 15th, 2027. We did get a release date for it, so that's exciting. Yeah, we'll see what the hell that's all about. All right. And then for me, my next one, we got to see more of, well, it finally has a name now. It's called Gen Atlas. We saw like a brief glimpse of it a couple of years ago. So this is Fumito Ueda's newest game. He's the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And this is his kind of like his robot game where there's these giant robots. So it's a little vibe of Shadow of the Colossus, but like their heads come off. They're like, the heads are spaceships that I don't know if you can like, you fight other robots and then take their body by putting your head spaceship on there is what it kind of looked like. I have no idea, but the sense of scale of it is really cool. He always does a great job with that to make these giant things seem giant. So yeah, I'm drawn to whatever the hell this idea is with these heads going on different robots. I don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah, interesting to say the least. I've not played Shadow of Colossus, but that was like a golden era PS2 title, so everybody knows like what it is. Yeah, I don't know that much about this. I mean, it gives me vibes of like Death Stranding, kind of, where things don't appear exactly as they are in this grand world in front of you.
Yeah, I think that's an apt description. It's weird enough that I think, yeah, it's going to be, it's just weird. It's got that weird vibe where it's nothing's like really cut and dry. But yeah, I'm excited to see more, knowing him and knowing how he puts stuff out. We got 10 more years before this game comes out. So, yeah, we'll be talking about it guaranteed in like a few years.
All right, last one on my top 5 here. The Gundam Rogue Orbit. Now, when the announcer says, we've got something for you from Bandai Namco about one of the most influential franchises in sci-fi history or something like that, I'm thinking like, it's going to be Gundam, it's going to be Gundam. And then I start watching the trailer and I'm like, this doesn't seem like Gundam. And then I see what looks like a Gundam head and I'm like, is it Gundam? And then I see giant monsters and I'm like, this isn't Gundam. And then it's not until the end of the trailer that I know for sure, because I thought, is this some other property that Bandai Namco owns so they don't have to worry about skirting too close to the line on the design of the mechs here? But yeah, it's weird. Never in like none of the properties I've ever seen out of this 30 years of this franchise have I seen something that looks like this. The mechs, like the Gundam models, whatever Gundam means in this entry into it, because it means different things depending on like which timeline you're looking at in the animes and games and things like that. Whatever it means, they are like bulky. They do look kind of cool, but I've never seen like this monster element on the other end of it. It's usually about, one pilot versus the other, or this faction versus that faction. It's never been like versus an outside enemy. And I'm okay with that. I think the name Rogue Orbit kind of tells you a little bit about this is kind of in like the far reaches of the solar system or something like that, where these monsters are coming in that you're having to fight. It seems really crazy. Gundam pretty much exists just to sell model kits, and well, you're going to be seeing like a lot of space behind me being taken up by these gigantic monsters if they're going to release the kits for those.
Yeah, I am. This actually, like, Gundam is like so foreign to me. I like the ideas of giant mechs and stuff like that. It always looks cool. But this one actually, like, as like an outsider to the world, I was like, this looks really cool. It looked super fast. The way like the mechs like strafe around and stuff, it looked like super cool. And I love the style of it. It was like a third person camera. It looked great. I am excited to see what this does become. And yeah, man, this could be my entry, dude. My entry into the Gundam verse. How excited is that?
Yeah.
We'll see. This one, I don't know if we didn't have a release date. I don't think for that, but yeah, I was very eager to hear what your thoughts were on that. I know, I mean, Gundam, that's your thing. I'm just looking behind you right now. And I wanted to know if you felt good about this one or not. So yeah, I'm eager to see more.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. We'll put it that way.
All right, that's good enough. All right, and then the last big one for me, and I know we're leaving a bunch out, and we got a few honorable mentions, so stick around. But I got to tell you, dude, this trailer for the game Clutch was awesome. It was this, the trailer is like the cinematic trailer, and it's got like the Killers song going. And then it's like this open world racer where these kids that are racing, they're street racing, they're on tracks, they're jumping giant cliffs. There's like helicopters getting shot out of the sky. I have no idea what's happening, but it looked like a movie that I want to watch. And I'm absolutely here for it. Whatever it ends up being, whatever it's going to be, I'm super excited to see what the hell Clutch is. That was an amazing trailer, a super well made trailer, and I'm telling you, just having that killer song, it just really it just made it that much better. So, what were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm right there. I need to know a little bit more. When I first saw this come on the screen, I'm thinking like this is another Need for Speed, but they're gonna take it back a step and be like, you're the gritty street racer who's coming from the bottom to go to the top. And then it turns out to be maybe a little more like The Crew or something like that. It is supposed to be like an open world experience, and it's rich in the dialogue, the story that's going on. It seems fun. You're an F1 racer or something like that. The guy says, and he's like, I can't keep getting in trouble with these street races. So I think that's the baseline of the story there. Uh, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing more. Figure out if it does have some of that Need for Speed element where you kind of maybe like start kind of broke, upgrade your car, get nicer cars, upgrade them. That's what I'm really looking for in the game, more so than the story element. This, if it has both, then awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It could it could really go either way, but I thought it was a great trailer, and it's definitely it put it on my radar. Something I'm looking forward to. That's spring 2027 was the date that we got for that one. And then, I mean, you can't talk about the Summer Games Fest just without like, a few here about honorable mentions, but one of them being Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which was the big closer to the show. Now, you and I aren't big Final Fantasy guys, which is why it didn't make it onto our list. But I'll tell you what, man, watching this trailer made me want to go back and replay Final Fantasy VII remake and try to get caught up. I know I don't have time to play all of those games before this comes out, but man, this game looks so cool. It's got Matt Mercer's in it as like a new cool looking character. And they did announce it's going to be on all consoles at the same time, even Nintendo Switch 2, even PC. It's going to be on everything. Spring 2027. So that's pretty cool. So excited to see more of that one and see what the hell that's going to be. But what else made the list but didn't make the cut?
All right, these were all ones that. Well, I got three here from the Summer Game Fest. So, Blood Message. This was a set in like I don't even know what years, but like a feudal era in China. Very combat heavy. You're defending the wall. Looks really good in that sense, and I think there's a lot of storyline going on with like the guy is a warrior, and he's trying to tell his son like we need to live in a better world where we don't have to fight and you can have a home, and then like it turns out no, that's decimated, but it just looks good. Then Last Harbor.
Yeah.
Now, if Sand Raiders of Sophie is build a base on the sand and walk through the sand and fight. This is kind of the water version of that. It's a little bit like a raft or other games like that where you're out on the sea. You got like your little tugboat, it looks like, building the base up, building your skills so you can survive better. Then the very last one I have here is not even an actual game. It's Wuthering Waves, which I've learned is not the Margot Robbie movie that just came out. Wuthering Waves, I think, is like a free-to-play. And they're doing a collab with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. When I saw CD Projekt Red, I saw all this. I got so hyped so fast because you're playing as Rebecca and I'll come back to the name later. The love Lucy, the love interest from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is like one of the best animes I've ever watched on Netflix. It looks cool. I'm not sure how much is like them skinning Wuthering Waves to look like Cyberpunk or vice versa. So it's just getting the honorable mention for me.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. You never know with those phone, those games if they do. Hopefully they don't butcher your favorite Cyberpunk show. And then for me, like I got to talk about, we've talked about it a bunch of times already, but they did show a new trailer for The Blood of Dawnwalker. And this is, it's so high on my list of games that I'm excited for. And this one, like they showed, like it has like present day gameplay. Like previously it always just looked like, set in the past. It's a vampire story. But this one, like the dude like ordered like DoorDash blood to be delivered. So I don't know what that is, but it's every time I see more of it, I'm more excited to see the game. It's this is done with people that made The Witcher, and it's just like a vampire version of that basically. So yeah, super psyched for that one. And that was Summer Games Fest. So give me your score out of 10 for that one.
We're going 9.5 out of 10. And I don't know how it could gain
Whoa.
that little extra half point, but yes, I was very, very, very happy with it, and I'm glad that the presentation has kind of settled down. And maybe I'm conflating it a little bit with the Game Awards at the end of the year. Maybe that's when the Muppets and Chris Pratt, for no
Yeah.
reason, all these people
Yeah.
pop in.
Yeah, for me, I did. I thought the pacing was great. It just didn't. It didn't have enough things like me centric. Like I wanted more like things that I'm super into, like that. Give me the intergalactic, or there were things that I wanted to see more of on this that I didn't get a chance to. But the everything I wanted to see was on the Sony State of Play. Even like they had Control. Like I was excited. Remember I talked about I want to see more Control. That was shown during the Sony State of Play. So I got
Yeah,
that ahead of time. This one I give a 7 out of 10. A lot of great games. Uh, Everything that I'm excited for, I saw mostly already, except for the ones that we did mention in our top five. Um, and then just I know you saw some of the trailers from the Day of the Devs. A lot of great indie games
yeah,
shown there. My plan was to hopefully put out some TikToks about those, because I think maybe I think they showed 20 trailers during the Day of the Devs showcase. I think I wish listed 12 of them. Like it was pretty exciting. I know
wow,
some of them you have on your thing too, like that Mr. Records looks so cool, where it's like
yeah,
a kind of like an action platformer set to music that you have to get the records in your record store to play the levels of the game. Like, I don't
right.
know. It was such a cool idea.
So it's like it's part
Yeah.
rhythm
So
game
that one.
and part
Mhm.
simulator where you're running the store at the same time. But it's like it's the darling indie title. If it doesn't win some awards at the end of the year, I'd be surprised because they have like a band and they have all these like guest performers, and it's nobody huge. It's like the developers of the game. And then a couple artists here and there that you probably never heard of, but it looks like it came together into something fantastic.
Yeah, it really looks cool. It's a really cool idea. I love the record store simulator aspect of it then too. So yeah, that one was super exciting. Um, you also have same on my list, Into the Unwell, which is like a
Hmm.
cartoon looking game where it's like a third person roguelike, but it's like really silly. And it's like an oldie
Yeah,
time cartoon wolf guy.
definitely shares a lot of DNA with Cuphead, I would say.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Um, did you happen to see this one? You don't have it on your list, but Dreadmore. It's like a fishing game, but it's also like a uh it kind of reminded me of that
I remember
it
it's
was like a
kind of like a
Lovecraftian.
horror fishing game that was recent, like a pixel art kind of thing.
Yeah, Dredge. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um it reminded me a little bit of that. That one was cool. Um 33 Immortals. That's another one that you had on your
Yeah.
list. That one is the one where it's like 33 people playing at once. It's like a roguelike, and it's like you're just playing with
Yeah.
with strangers and trying to do it. That was cool.
So it sounds like it's kind of meant to be like the dungeon raid in MMO, any MMO you choose, or Destiny or something like that. But instead of like waiting around for your entire guild to get together, this lets you go in with like four of your friends or three of your friends, I guess, as a party of four. But you are like match made with 33 people in total, so that you can go and take on the bosses. So you're skipping all the middle junk in between, and you're going straight into the raids as a roguelike. So it sounds pretty cool in the concept. I've never really seen it done like that.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I know, like we've been hearing about that for a few years now, and I'm glad we're seeing more of it and seeing how it works, because the idea of it is pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, a lot of good stuff there. And then there was a Future Game Fest, which showed more of like things that we've seen, like longer trailers of things that we've seen. There were a few world premieres there. Nothing that really, did much for me. There was so much. There was so much that we didn't even touch on,
Yeah,
and we couldn't. There's not enough time in the day to really get into everything. So I'm glad we did it this way, and
right.
we just focused on like the real big big hitters. So, anything else before we close this show for the time being?
Gosh, no. Yeah, we're already at an hour, and it's felt like we've been talking for 10 minutes because that's how good it was.
It was fun, man. And I got to
Yeah,
tell you, so
we got the
yes,
Xbox showcase coming up.
yeah. So that is like, as of our recording, I mean, that's like happening pretty much now. We just didn't have time to fit it into the show or into our schedule. So that we'll be talking about next week. I do already know that is kicking off with the new Gears of War game, some gameplay there. And I read right before we started recording, it is no longer going to be available on PlayStation 5. That's canceled. So it's interesting how we had we were there for a minute. Everybody was happy, and now not anymore. It's we're back to the console wars, which I like. Give me the wars.
Oh, yeah. Also, we had some speculation as to whether or not we were going to see GTA 6 trailer 3 at the Summer Games Fest, and we did not. But what do you think about in the next like 24 hours? Like, they let these guys get all their stuff out of the way, and then they blow us up with the next trailer, like today or tomorrow.
That would be sweet. And and we're at the point where we need something else. I mean, we don't need it, but it would be nice to get something else, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because we didn't get anything from Nintendo either. Like, which there was some speculation there was going to be a Nintendo Direct at some point this week as well, but nothing from them. They did have some things in the Summer Games Fest, no big announcements or anything, but they had like little snippets of Nintendo Switch
It's
games,
like
which
mid-roll ads.
normally. Yes, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, so much happening, and we'll continue with more talk about the Xbox showcase next week when we get back here. So that's very exciting. So many games and so little time, but yeah, September is going to be crazy, and then. Yeah, and then 2027. Once GTA 6, everybody plays that for a little bit, and then maybe about March 2027 they'll start to pick up again. But all right, well, thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. This was a fun one. I really do enjoy this week talking about all these games, and definitely go to the YouTube channel. That way you can see all the trailers that we're talking about and kind of put in your 2 cents there. Pop Culture Playground's the name of the channel. Gaming News Weekly is there listed. All, like I said, all the trailers there. But if you just want to listen to the show on the go, you're welcome to do that. Just type in GNW at any podcast provider, and you will get this show right there. Make sure you do subscribe though. That way it'll put it onto your phone, and then you're ready to go for off to work, to the gym, wherever. And then when you get home, you could go back through and watch all the trailers if you want to do it that way. But you definitely got to see some of these trailers or you could just watch all 11 hours of the showcases that were out, because I'm telling you, we're not even touching on all the great games. There were so many more fun games that we'll be talking about in the next few months, I'm sure. But and then hopefully this week I'm going to be updating the TikTok with some of those indie games from Day of the Devs, from the Cozy Game Fest, and that sort of thing, because there was a lot that does deserve a little bit of a mention. So keep an eye out there for some stuff there. Hopefully, if I can find the time. But I think that's it. Any parting words?
Let's see. This is pod racing.
There you go. This is pod racing. All right, we're out of here. Thanks so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.